it's Barry.
Hey, it's Brian.
And welcome back to another episode of the Collecti-Bros podcast. On today's episode, Is It Worth It? We finally tackled Drakengard for the PlayStation 2.
Sigh.
Or Dragon Guard, however you would like to.
It's a way more appropriate name.
Yep. But first, if you like what you listen to, want to support the podcast, please follow us, subscribe, whatever, all the free stuff, because we don't have you pay for anything. For the high price of free, you can subscribe to us on YouTube to get more content. And for the other high and low price of free, you can check us out on Spotify for more free episodes.
Love it.
We have 4 years worth of free content for everyone on the free tier of the Collecti-Bros podcast.
The free and only tier.
And also, the free invite to the free Discord is in the show notes, where you can talk to us for free, no charge.
We're all about freedom over here at the Collecti-Bros podcast.
Drakengard is a hack and slash aerial combat RPG action dark fantasy game for the PlayStation 2. It was released in 2004, published by Square Enix and developed by Cavia. Don't know how to say that. One's going to be Cavia today. Yeah. It was named Dragoon in Japan, which is why I like to call it Drakengard. Yeah. Drakengard
is the most appropriate name ever.
Yep. I will say there are a lot of themes in this game that I suppose there goes the table. Yep. It's very windy over here. That's going to make no sense to anybody listening to it.
Snip.
No, we're keeping it.
Fine.
Because we're real here.
I mean, between the cats from the last episode, that was a fun one to edit.
Yeah, no problem. I suppose we're going to flash, non-flash, whatever. There's some themes in here that may be triggering to some individuals, including, but not limited to, suicide. Incest is mentioned, child predators, what else?
Child soldiers.
Soldiers.
Yeah, death, murder. I mean, it's got the gambit. First 3 chapters of this game, it's got the gambit.
So if none of that interests you, please move on to another free episode of the Collecti-Bros podcast.
Yeah, we don't care about losing our monetization like the rest of the Drakengard content out there.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about this game in its entirety, and we are going to touch on the things that are mentioned in the story of this game, but we're not going to go into any explicit detail about anything. So, but just for the posterity's sake.
Yep.
There are themes mentioned in this game that we will touch on. So, this game was originally supposed to be like a dark fantasy Ace Combat, but they kind of added the ground combat in the design kind of phase of this to grab on to the popularity of Dynasty Warriors at the time, which Dynasty Warriors was wildly popular on the PlayStation 2. So it died out on the PlayStation 4, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. They tried to make it open world and just different.
I think PlayStation 3 Dynasty Warriors was peak, but that's my opinion. And this game is also directed by Yoko Taro. If you do not know who Yoko Taro is the one that Kojima thinks is weird.
Yeah, it's a perfect analogy. Yeah.
So we're not going to go super deep into Yoko Taro as a developer or a director or kind of a name in the game industry. He never intended to be in the game industry, just kind of fell into it. But if you ever see a dude wearing a weird cheese and mask, he's like the weird Japanese Deadmau5, but he doesn't make music. So Yoko Taro was not supposed to be the director originally, and he didn't really have any experience with games prior to this. I think he went to school for like 3D animation or something like that.
Interesting.
But this was basically like his first game. Like, it's for his first game. So he was asked to take the role as the other person who was supposed to be the director was just too busy with other projects. And honestly, this game really didn't get... What's the word? The treatment of, yeah, this idea sucks, and yeah, let's do that. They just kind of pencil whipped it.
Right.
So there were some things about the writing that he got so much pushback on that he said he was never going to work on another Drakengard game ever again. Because a lot of the things that he wanted to do, they said no to.
Imagine that.
So he's not a part of Drakengard 2. He does come back in Drakengard 3, I don't think at a director capacity. And then we don't really have much of Yoko Taro until Nier. But as far as like the Drakengard sphere, he's not really super present in that. More so in 3. 2, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of discourse between like, is 2 actually a Drakengard game? Because Drakengard 2 is a sequel to the first one, where Drakengard 3 is a prequel to the first one.
Interesting.
And then Nier, as everybody knows, is a spin-off of this game from one of the endings. And then Nier Automata is a spin-off of one of the Nier endings. And then Nier Replicant is a remake of Nier. So if you're kind of wondering like why we're talking about Drakengard, this is the origin of Nier. The super wildly popular Nier 2B, everybody fucking knows. I love Nier.
Yeah.
I think the game is a phenomenal top 5 game for me.
Yeah, I played the original one on 360 back in the day. I rented it from Blockbuster and was like...
I had it on PS3.
Yeah, this is super unique and different. And then, of course, Autonoma's the shit, so...
Yeah, so I've always... This game was like... I worked at a game store for a long time, and before Nier Automata came out, Automata, I'm sorry, it's Automata.
Yeah.
Not Automata.
Don't trust me, shit.
You got
Nier
me. Nier Automata. Before that game came out, Drakengard was like not a game that people like came in to buy. Like when I would see it, it was like $3.99 at best.
Right.
And then it got
$11.
and then it got to the $10 range, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll get this game for the PS2, because like I didn't know anything about this game at the time. I just saw it had a dragon, and it was for the PS2, and I'm like, it's by Square Enix, it must be a game that I want to play.
Yeah.
So that's when I bought my copy. I had no idea at the time that it was the origins of Nier when I bought it until much later when I found out.
Yeah, same, honestly.
So that's kind of why I finally wanted to tackle this one, to kind of really see like, how did we get there?
Yeah.
How did we get from this Drakengard game to Nier Automata?
Right.
Automata. Fuck, you having me messing it up.
I got you fucked up, I'm sorry.
Automata. So, there's tons of YouTube videos out there if you want to see like how they're all linked together. We're not really going to talk about Nier too much in this episode, but just for the reasons on like why we picked this one or why I picked this one, this is kind of the reason. So
yeah, and a rare game that we both own, so it's cool too.
Yes. This game has 5 endings. So the original Nier is based off of ending E, which we will talk about. And then Nier Automata is based off of the 5th ending of Nier. So that's kind of how you get the chain.
Interesting.
It sold well in Japan. I consider this game... I want to say it's a culty game.
For sure, yeah. Especially now.
Yeah, where Nier is popular because it's Nier Automata, Drakengard is the culty popular.
For sure.
Drakengard is the, I like Drakengard because I want to say I was there first.
Yeah.
Okay?
I always forget there's 3 of them, honestly. Like, I see 3 every now and then. I don't see 2 very often, but I always forget it's a trilogy. So.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And I don't know how connected they are.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a big enough franchise to be a trilogy, but I don't know.
I have them all.
Nice.
I've got all of them. Nier 3, or not Nier 3, good God, Jesus Christ. Drakengard 3 is actually harder to find for me.
Yeah.
And it's one of those rare PlayStation 3 game eras where they were doing the blue labels. It was that weird transition between when they stopped doing the black labels and then they were moving on to the PS4, where we have the clear case but the blue PS3 banner.
Yeah.
So it looks weird on the shelf. So I don't think this popular. I don't think anybody gave a shit about this game until Nier Automata.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
So
I remember hearing like loose rumblings just because there's a dragon. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah. So it sold well in Japan, but it received mixed to positive reviews in the West, where people praised the story and the music, and they dunked on the graphics and the gameplay.
I must have heard you incorrectly. We'll get there, I guess.
So we'll get there about how we feel about this game, but for the most part, it's considered that this game plays awful, but the story is really good. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where everyone comes from in Nier. So rolling right out of that, unless you have anything else to add, Brian.
No, man, I think we covered it. I think one funny thing about this game is, like, I was researching it, and just the pitch that they gave it to Sony. Basically, Yoko Taro,
Dragons in Space?
Yeah, they just thought it was, like, the tone was going to be really dark, and he thought he was going to get unreleased. So he sent one of the other producers, Yasuki Sato, to go make the pitch to Sony, because he's like, I know what I want in this game. They're never going to allow it. Like, you go pitch it to him. And when Sato got back, Taro was like, how'd it go? And he's like, oh, yeah, they accepted it, because he said he thinks they were just like so tired of hearing all the pitches that day, they just accepted it. I'm like, that's wild, man. That's pretty crazy. Never happened today. So
I do remember reading that this game's themes of being darker are intentional because of a lot of games. They wanted it to be kind of like a foil to a lot of RPGs and games that were coming out at the time, like Dragon Quest 7. Mm-hmm. Dragon Quest 8. Mm. That was one on PS2. So they were trying to kind of be like, oh, hold on. Let me just look something up here real quick before I say some shit out my ass.
The power of editing.
Drakengard came out in 2004. Kingdom Hearts came out in 2002.
Yeah.
So that was the one where my brain was like, Kingdom Hearts is mentioned. Is the timeline correct? Yes. For the lighthearted, the power of friendship.
Right.
Like, you know what? We have the power of friendship in Kingdom Hearts, and when we have the power of pedophiles in Drakengard, okay?
It is kind of the antithesis of, like, that bubbly, happy RPG at the time. Like,
yeah, there's nothing happy about this game. There's nothing fun about this game.
Dark and brooding.
There's nothing, like, I have seen this game compared to as if they took Berserk and Neon
Evangelion?
Neon Genesis Evangelion. My brain stopped working, yeah. If you took Ava and if you took Berserk and smashed them together, that's this game. Mm. They're both fucked. Yeah. They're both fucked. So, I don't know if you know anything about either of those properties.
Not a ton. I mean, I obviously know of them, but I know their fan base, I'll put it like that. Reddit monitors.
I'm not going to say anything about either of them on this podcast because I'll get strung up by my pinky toes in a tree. But I'll just say, conceptually, imagine mixing those two together, and that's kind of what you're getting in this.
It's edgelord the game.
So, moving on, going into this whack-ass story of this.
It's wild. Good luck summarizing this story, bro. I'm just flipping through my notes. I'm like, God damn, dude.
Yeah.
It's a blog.
Okay, so the story of this game, what I would recommend for you is if you're interested in knowing about the story of this game, there is 3.5 hours? 3.5 hour, 4 hour video on YouTube called Drakengard the Movie, where someone has hypercut and spliced every single bit of cutscene and dialogue into one long thing, including all of the endings.
Yeah, because I'm not doing that for this.
That is the way that you need to consume this game. I'm saying that right now.
Yep.
Anything about the actual... And there's some parts of games where the actual gameplay is integral to the story, where, like, you're experiencing, like, the story through things you're doing and interacting with in the world. This has none of that. Mm-hmm. You could cut out every single bit of actual gameplay, and you would still not have any extra bits of the story.
Like Futurama. Like they did the Futurama behind the scenes bonus content. For real, though, you're right. There's no narrative in this game told through gameplay at all.
Absolutely not. So, if you go through this episode and you're like, Drakengard, I kind of want to know what it's all about, I'll say my whole piece at the end, but there is a hypercut on YouTube that I watched, and it was great because they didn't cut out anything. As far as I'm aware, they didn't cut out anything, and even like inside of the combat, sometimes they'll say little things like, "Oh, we're losing ground" or whatever. Like they include those sliced parts of actual gameplay where there's dialogue, so it's not just the cutscenes. Right. But that I would highly recommend that one. But the story of this game...
Deep breath, glass of water.
And I'm going to say this in the most vague way possible. But this is a medieval-style game set in a world called Midgard. And this whole place is protected by these seals. So I don't remember how many there were. 3?
4.
4? Is that 4?
3 actual seals.
So there's 3 seals, and then there's a goddess of the seals. And then all 4 of them... if they're destroyed, these beings known as the Watchers are going to come to the world and destroy humanity. Mm-hmm. Okay, remember the Watchers. If you're thinking the Watchers in Marvel, you're kind of not far off. Okay?
There's like older.
You're kind of not far off. Yeah. But Watchers are also biblical angels. So however in biblical context those are described, I personally do not know. I know I've heard of the weird angels with the fucking eyeballs
and the wings and shit. Yeah,
like a biblical angel.
It's like a biblically accurate angel. Yeah. It's like a whole meme thing now. But
I don't really know.
I think something got lost in translation when they translated the Bible into Japanese. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. It looks like these Watchers are very prevalent in.
I haven't been Bible bowling
the Book of Daniel. I don't know nothing about the Bible. Okay, I'm just regurgitating information to you. It looks like it's relevant in the Book of Daniel, but also the Book of Enoch, which I do know is in the Apocrypha. So take that for what you will. But these Watchers, these angels, will come down to destroy humanity if all of the seals are broken. Now, a big portion of this world is that humans and these beasts can make pacts. Mm-hmm. And it could be any amount of creature. There's not really a set, like, they don't talk about these kinds of creatures exist. It's just like there are other sentient creatures that exist in this world that you can make pacts with. And we find through the story that there are various types, okay? And if they bind together, their souls are linked. If one dies, the other dies. They get a lot of power. But the human has to make some form of a sacrifice. Yep. And then there's 2 forces in this game. There's the Union and there's the Empire. The Union are the ones who are trying to protect the seals from being destroyed, which is where the main character is from. And then the Empire is led by a cult who wants to destroy them because they think it'll be good fortune. Mm-hmm. Because remember, Watchers, and I think this is why it's inspired by the Book of Enoch version of Watchers, is they're good Watchers and they're bad Watchers. And I'm assuming that the Empire, and like I said, I don't know if this is spoken in context of the game, but I'm assuming the Empire is seeing that as the Watchers are a good thing when they come down, they'll bless us. Yeah. Where the Union is like the Watchers are a bad thing, they're going to fuck us up.
Yeah, they're very religious-led in their beliefs.
Yes, so we've got a couple characters to talk about, but it really first opens up with Kame. And that's your main character. That's your main guy. His whole story is his fucking family was killed by dragons. He hates dragons. He hates the Empire. He hates everything. Okay? He is the guts. All right? He's the guts. And his sister, Furii, she's the goddess of the seals. So his whole thing is like trying to protect her. He's part of the Union. He is a deposed prince of the Union. And during a battle, he's about to die. He comes across a red dragon who, unfortunately for both of them, because the dragon hates humans, and then he hates the dragons because the dragons killed his family, and then the dragon hates humans because all they do is fucking kill them. They're like, we both want to live, let's make a pact. He loses his voice. So this dude in this game has maybe like 4 lines.
Yeah.
So that's how we get our main character and our dragon combination. We also have Inuart, who is Fidei's fiance.
Yeah, which is also interesting. So, like, when you become the goddess, she's like the 13th goddess of this realm, right? So, like, when they die naturally, the next one becomes a goddess. So she was, like, sworn to him. But when you become the goddess, you can't have, like, any human contact. So they're immediately, like, broken apart. Mm-hmm. So, interesting little note there.
Fiance, former fiance, yeah.
Yep.
And there's a couple other characters that will pop up too, but those are kind of like the main ones we're looking at.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Verdelay, and he's like a priest who's supposed to be protecting Fidei, and he's constantly like, the seals! The seals!
He, like, questions his own faith a lot. It's like his negative aspect, I guess, because every character's got, like, a little ounce of ambiguity or grayness to them. Mm-hmm. So he's, like, kind of a shitty holy man.
He has a pact with a petrified dragon, so that's why we never see that one. And what he sacrificed was his hair. I don't really understand that part.
It's wild.
He sacrificed his hair.
That's it.
Yeah, they don't get to choose what they sacrifice.
Right.
Once the pact happens, like, they just find out what they lose.
Yeah.
He lost his hair. I don't know.
You're a monk, bro. They all have friar cuts and balding.
Yeah.
You fit right in. Congrats.
So I don't really know how that was a bad trade-off. But essentially what happens is they're all trying to... I don't even know how to just, like, wrap my head around this game. You're trying to stop the seals from being broken. That's really it.
For sure.
At one point, there are... And I didn't know this, that there's 2 characters that are optional that I just kind of went through the missions because I thought that's what I was supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. There's Ariok. What was her name? Ariok. How the fuck did you say her name? She wasn't an optional one.
No.
She was one. There's five pact.
Yes.
Pact bearers. You can kind of encounter in the game. 6 maybe came with the red dragon. Mm-hmm. We encounter this guy named Leonard. He's one of the optionals. He should have remained optional.
I think he's early though. I don't remember.
He's chapter 3 because I got him in chapter 3.
This is the first one I got. Yeah.
And I thought that I was supposed to. I didn't know it was optional. I don't.
I said
apparently, it's an
3,
optional
cool,
mission.
Yeah.
So Leonard, and he is a character that loses his
sight. Eyesight, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just roll back a little bit. All of this stuff happens. They're trying to save the seals, and Kame and Verdelay, every time they're like they know a seal's going to get broken, they go to it and they're too late.
They lose a lot. Yeah.
So they come across a elf village that got killed or destroyed, and that's where you find Leonard because I believe his family was there.
It's his brothers.
Is that where you find him? His brothers. He was off in the woods. And
unfortunately.
while he was off in the woods, all of his family died in an Empire attack. And so when he came back, a fairy found him and basically said, I don't know how this is revealed in the game in which events, but in total, a fairy came back and said, in the most tactile way I could possibly say this, you were jerking it in the woods because you like little boys.
Yep.
And because of that, your entire family died. And now you're going to be too chicken shit to kill yourself, so I'm going to make a pact with you.
Yes.
I don't like...
It's spot on. I hate to say it like that.
You know, like it's... I hate the fact that he's even in this game. There's no point for him to be in this game, I'm going to be honest with you. But she forms a pact with this guy because she's basically just like, well, you're never going to kill yourself because you don't have it in you to do it. So you're going to suffer with your guilt, and I'm going to be there to just dunk on you on every second of the day.
And she does, rightfully so.
Dunks on him. Yeah. And he loses his sight. So now she gains this pact. She gets more powerful. She gets more powerful by being in a pact with a human, and then also them being tied together. Neither of them are going to die. So she's just like, bitch, you can't kill yourself because you don't want to. I'm going to live forever, and I'm going to just tell you every single day. You should feel guilty.
Yeah. Yeah, when you first find him too, he's getting ready to like stab himself in the throat, but she's like, chicken shit, you won't do it.
Yeah, he can't do it. And then Sarai. I think it's Sarai.
Sarai, something. I don't remember how the fuck it is.
Sarai's a little boy, and he forms a pact with a golem because his mom dies and his sister, I guess, gets taken or disappears, and he's like all alone by himself, and he's like,
And the Empire took his sister.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
The Empire took her. That's right. I'm scared. I want to find my sister, and this golem's like, all right, cool. This kid, I like this kid. Okay, I like this kid. He makes sense in the world.
Yeah, he's the only one that doesn't have like a gray streak. He's just a kid, literally, that lives in a shitty country.
Yeah, I mean, his whole thing is his family gets upended, and it's kind of revealed through the game that like his mother basically chose him, not his sister, and so there is a certain amount of guilt that Sarai feels for being the one that his mom cared about and not his sister. So there's a part of him that I think feels responsible for the fact that she got taken and is trying to rescue her. And he's young. He's not like an older kid. Like he's a young little kid, like 10 or less. So him going through this like guilt journey is strange for being such a young child.
Yeah, it's very mature for his age.
Yeah. And then there is a third character named, I can't say her name because all these Nier names are crazy.
Correct. You're doing great though.
Arioche, like brioche. That's how I remember.
Yeah,
Arioche. She's an elf woman who you find in one of the like seal missions that you rescue her from a jail. And she was basically driven mad by the fact that her family was killed, and she is just a raging cannibal. Her madness takes the form of eating children.
Yep.
So, I believe her madness kind of manifests as eating children because she feels like if she eats them, they'll be safe inside of her.
Yep.
She formed a pact also with these like two little orb elemental things, and she lost her womb. Didn't know she wanted to have kids or and I hate this.
Hungry too.
I hate this. I'm just gonna caveat here. Every single time that a female character has to make a sacrifice or some kind of thing in a game, they always take her ability to have children. Like that's the only thing she's fucking good for.
Yep. It's an easy out, man. And I hate to say it, a lot of the black eyes on these characters are like easy outs, you know. I personally think, and this is where y'all gonna get me, I think it's poor writing. Gee, I'm supposed to hate a fucking pedo? Like, no way.
Yeah, like those two characters specifically, Arioche and Leonard, I'm just like, why do I care about you?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing, you're not going through, and at the end of the game, they don't go through anything that, like,
there's no
makes them
arc.
better people.
Yeah, there's no redemption arc.
At all. You can splice how you want to say about Leonard and his being a redemption arc, but I'm sorry, it's not.
No.
It's not.
It's not. I agree. And that's the thing, too. Like, the reason why Yoko Taro... We're getting off on a tangent, but he said he wanted to include these elements because, like, it happens in real life also, which, like, I get. But, like, I don't think you have to, you know, jump to the most extreme circumstances to make something dark and brooding. No. It's not necessary.
No.
I'm not saying that you can't do it, but I think there's a tasteful way to do it, you know? I don't think, like, I'm hiding in the woods jerking off because my family's getting slaughtered. It's, like, a tasteful way to do it, you know? Like...
No, there's... tons of other pieces of media do dark and angsty and brooding without the inclusion of child predators, without the inclusion of rape, without the inclusion of that kind of stuff. Like, it's not necessary. And a lot of the times when some of those are included, it just doesn't make sense, and I just think it's bad writing. Like, I think you're just reaching for something to look dark and edgy, but, like, you don't know how to write other concepts that are also the same. Yeah. You know?
Because, like, I straight up felt more sorry for the kid who did nothing wrong, you know? And it's like, that's the character I can relate to. Like, how am I supposed to relate to this guy? How am I supposed to empathize for this guy?
Right.
I don't. I just hope he fucking dies, honestly. Like,
right. Like, and I don't know, you know, if one of you defenders in the comments wants to, you know, come and defend Leonard and out yourself, like, you can.
Go ahead.
But, like, I also am just like, what was the relevancy of his character in this story?
Right.
You know, like, especially him being optional. Like, you want to talk about something like Final Fantasy VII, right? Where Vincent is an optional character, but they still tie him so integrally to Sephiroth as a character that excluding him, you would still have the same story, but including him, it's enriched.
Yeah.
Right? Including Leonard in this is not enriching anything.
Does nothing.
It's actually making one of the other endings like even more gross.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm just like, why are you on here? I don't understand. Why were you included? Like, can someone dissect the reasoning on why he was in this? I'll listen to you, but I cannot be a defender of it.
Yeah.
So I think that there's other parts of this in the writing that are smarter, if that's the best way to put it, but he is not one of them.
Hell no.
So as we go through the game, we eventually get to the point where Inuart, who, remember, is the goddess seal, the goddess of the seal's former fiance. They separated because of, like you said, she can't touch no man.
It's like lock her in a room, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he basically gets brainwashed by this cult into believing that he could basically kidnap her and then bring her to the cult, and then they could find a way to be together. Mm-hmm. And they manipulate his love for her into loving the concept of her, and then eventually, as the game goes by, he doesn't even recognize who he's loving anymore. He just knows he's like loving an object, and that's what he's supposed to be doing. Right. So there's a part of, I think, one of the endings or one of the routes where he's literally like, I love you, who are you? Right. You know? Like he has no idea who she is.
And the interesting thing is, like, when he makes a pact, they convince him to make a pact with the black dragon that killed you and your sister's family. So it's also like, you know what you're doing. You're gonna like literally do something that hurt the love of your life. Like giving up yourself also, because what he gives up is like ability to play music. That's like what he was. That's all he was. Like literally, at the first time he met me, he's like, "Oh, you want to hear a song? Like, let's celebrate."
Well, that's what his musical playing and his songs were what Fury liked about him and what loved about him, and so him choosing to give that up in order to get her, he gave up the one thing that
he's after.
She really like, you know, that was the connection that made her like him. And
see, like that's smarter than just being like, oh, he's a piece of shit. Like,
right.
It's interesting.
I think the main three, the story around them is interesting.
They're the strongest characters.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But so eventually we get to the point where there's a big battle. The Union wins. We all think we're awesome. And then this huge fortress in the sky. Imagine like a floating continent with like upside down buildings just drops a nuke. Yeah. It decimates everybody. Everything is just yoinked off the face of the planet. So they're like, all right, Fury gets captured. She gets taken up to this fortress, and Kame and the dragon are like, all right, well, we got to go to the damn fortress. We gotta follow Inuart, who kidnaps her. Mm-hmm. They fly up to the fortress, and then that's kind of where the endings start to break apart. Yep. Depending on what you did in the first part up till the fortress, what you've unlocked, what other weapons you've done, that's kind of what dictates the routes of what endings that we go to. So now that we've entered this fortress, what ends up happening is Circe's missing sister was taken by the Empire, and she was like brainwashed and ritual done or whatever the hell happened to her. She is the leader of the cult. This little kid is the leader of the cult. Yep. So her name's Mana.
It's weirdly the most normal name.
Yes. Yes. So she was actually revealed to be abused by her mom, and that's kind of what led her to being chosen by a Watcher's agent, because of her need of like, she needs the love, so she's seeking it out, but she's getting abused by it so much that they just kind of took advantage and manipulated her, and that's why she was chosen to be the Watcher's like prophet, right? So our first route ending takes us to the defeat of Mana. Kame and our red dragon, confront her, defeat her, and she's like, just kill me, just get it over with. Mm-hmm. But the dragon says that she needs to live and contend with all the things that she's done. So what happens is right before this, Fury dies. She commits suicide because because Mana reveals to everybody that Furii actually loves her brother romantically, and reveals that to Kame, who then says, ew, that's nasty. So when he says, ew, that's nasty, she said, well, I guess I'll die then.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just perish. And so because of that, and because of the influence that the Watchers are having at the same time, just drives her to the point where she's like, all right then, and she kills herself. All right. So that's kind of where we start branching in that exact moment, because different things kind of happen. So because she's dead, ending A, they say, we need a new seal, otherwise we're fucked. Mm-hmm. We need a new goddess of the seal. The red dragon offers up herself and says, no human is stronger than me. I can be the new seal, and you guys are never going to be able to, like, whack me, because I'm super strong. So they break the pact. And in the pact breaking, I don't really understand if it was like a mutual breaking or like how they were able to both survive. Because they break the pact prior to her becoming the seal. The dragon is pretty much just like, oh, human, I actually really like you now. And you get to know my name, and you're the only human who has ever ought to know my name, and my name's Angelus. So that's where we get Angelus from, is the red dragon. And then they have the ritual. They say their little goodbye. She fades away into the seal, and then the game ends.
Yes.
Which I think is by far the best ending.
Yeah, I agree, man, because there's a lot of stuff leading up to this where the dragon's like, hey, I'm starting to sympathize with humanity, and then Kayam is even like, he cries. It's the first time he's ever shown emotion other than being like a bloodthirsty killing machine. When she's dying, she even says like, oh, it's nice to see you like shed tears, like, you know, live on, and she ends up protecting humanity. It's full circle ending. It's a good ending.
I will say this is going to be
good ending.
This is going to be a long section, so you know. So I think that's a great ending.
Agree.
Great. Second ending. So what happens when I love my brother, ew, that's nasty, I die. Inuar sees this and realizes that they have these things called the Seed of Resurrection. And they've been told that if they use the Seed of Resurrection, crazy shit will happen.
It's a Dragon Ball.
crazy stuff is going to happen. And so they're like, we are not supposed to use these. Like, this is a horrible fate. Do not use this.
Right.
He said, I'm going to use it. So he grabs her body, takes her to a Seed of Resurrection, pops her in there, and she pops out to be this horrible, weird, angelic monster and instantly kills him. Because that's not Furii anymore. Furii has been resurrected as some crazy Watcher Angel thing. So Kame now has to kill her. You're forced into a battle where Kame has to kill his sister because she's gone too far. Kill a sister. But then she clones herself. So he does kill her, but then all of the clones come up, and then it kind of just ends. Because the Seed of Resurrection is supposed to destroy humanity, so all of these pop up. So it's like him on a cliff, and then they all rise up after you kill the one, and then a bunch of them rise up, and you're like, well, shit.
Like, this is it.
Yep.
You're gonna die.
So that's ending 2. All right. Ending 3. God. This is where we start to get... This one's fine. 4 and 5 is where it starts to get super fucky. I think 3 is the weakest of the endings, in my personal opinion. I just don't think it makes sense. And I will say the endings 2 through 5, you have to unlock with certain conditions. I do not know what those are. I did not look them up.
I know what 5s are, but I don't know what the rest of them are.
I know that 5, you have to unlock all the weapons.
Yep, and you have to get 1,000 kills with each of them.
So, we ain't doing that.
64,000 kills, fuck off.
I'm okay. Yeah, there's a shit ton of weapons. So the third ending, after Furiai's suicide, they try to stop her resurrection, and Mana's killed by another dragon. So now the dragons are getting driven mad. They're like, we need to kill humanity. You guys are fucking everything up. And Angelus breaks her pact and sides with the dragons and say, you guys, like, you gotta go. It's me or you at this point. So you have a chaos form unlock. and you have to fight Angelus as the Chaos Dragon. So you end up killing her, but all of the dragons are basically like gonna wipe out humanity, and so you see Kame run out, like start to fight all the dragons. He's gonna fucking die. That's it. Just like with the angel that was resurrected in ending 2, ending 3, he's gonna die with all these fucking dragons. That's it. So I guess you could call that a bad ending too.
Yeah, it's one of the better bad endings, but still a bad ending. Kame kind of redeems himself, like the only good quality of that ending, honestly, but he's going to die, so it's all for naught.
Yeah, that one doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because throughout the story, like, Angelus is making these, like...
Yeah, late in the story, she, like, changes heart.
Yeah, she's having this arc about, like, appreciating the humans and, like, seeing them for what they are more than just, like, fucking meat sacks.
Right.
So that one just doesn't make sense to me about why she cut it so quickly and was like, maybe I could try and... maybe I could be the dragon that could try to, like, reason with these ones that are going mad. She's just like, nah. Nope.
See, this guy's got a point.
Ending 4 is, I feel like, the most complicated one. So, ending 4, Serai, however you say this kid's
Mana's
name.
brother.
Mana's brother. He ends up making the decision, like, once he sees how everything's going, he realizes his sister's too far gone and she has to go. So he makes the choice to tell his golem to kill her, which is a big emotional moment for him. Like, I think in that moment, like, he's seeing all of the guilt and realizing that there's nothing he could do. And so he has to kill her and he doesn't get any type of redemption for that. Like, that's just it. So he kind of has to live with it, and that's why he's like, I drove you to this, or he feels guilty and feels like the one who drove her to that because he got all of the affection from his mother. His mother, because of that, basically abandoned and tortured her to drive her to this. So he sees, like, his own, like, personal responsibility for it. And because now it's gone so far, he has to kill her, he's, like, very upset by it. So this causes the fortress to collapse, and just... The whole concept of reality explodes in this. I don't really know why, because she's sort of a god, sort of a goddess. She has this crazy power of these watchers, but she's more of like a prophet figure. She's not like an actual watcher. But because she dies or is destroyed, I just think like it breaks the reality of the world. So this is where it gets fucky. So because she dies, the Watchers descend from the capital to just kill everything. And that's when you see the big fucking babies come out of the sky. Okay, when I said Watchers from Marvel of old Baldman, this is just young Baldman, all right? It's babies coming down.
It's like the ending of 2001 Space Odyssey, but there's a bunch of them.
It is the cover of the Nirvana album, but just a bunch of them coming down, okay? So, Inuar and Furii are killed inside of this fortress. Everybody else escapes. And this is, you have all the optional characters, so maybe that's one of the conditions is you need all of them.
You do, yeah.
Came, and this is where the supposed arc of Leonard being better, he like turns around, because they're basically trying to get Serai to the capital so he can use his powers, because what he gave up as a pact with the golem was his time.
Yep.
So in forming the pact with the golem, he doesn't age anymore, he doesn't develop anymore, he's in the body and the mind of a child forever. So at the end he says he compares himself to the story that he was told as a kid of the boy hero or something like that. Where he's like, oh, he knew when his time was to come save, and now it's now, and that's me, so I'm going to give up my time to basically freeze the Watchers. Does he die in this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because he has to give everything up.
Right.
To do it, he already killed his sister, so like, fuck it, why not, right? So in them trying to get him there, they're getting roadblocks, so parts of the party is just like, I'm gonna go sacrifice myself to like give you guys time, and that's what Leonard does, where he's like, all right, I'm gonna hold him here, and that's when the fairy's like, what, no, what do you mean?
Yeah.
That's gonna kill you, and he's like, I know, and she's like, but you're too much of a coward to do it, but that means I die, like she starts freaking out.
Right.
And then Sirei is upset by this. He sees Leonard as like this like fatherly, I don't know what.
I don't know why.
So he runs up to him and he hugs him and he's like, please, no. But this whole portion of the cutscene, I suppose, can be interpreted in two different ways, right? The way that it's chosen, I'm not going to say shot because that's just not how it works. The way the animation is chosen to be portrayed is like, it's not like he's standing, okay? It's a full-grown man standing and a little boy coming to hug him, okay? So it's framed as maybe this is the moment where he's like finally letting go and he's being like, I can make the sacrifice now. I've let go of all of those like perversions or whatever. Or you see the look on this man's face and realize he's seeing this as the last time he's going to get it.
Yep.
Which is what I took it as. And I was like, ew, that's gross.
I don't know what they were going for with that because, the way it's like, what are you supposed to do with that, man?
I don't know, dude. It just gave me the heebie-jeebies when I watched it. Same. And I was like, oh, you... And, like, you can't blame the... Like, the kid has no idea.
Yeah, it's an innocent
He's completely innocent of the knowledge of this. He's got no clue. So it's like, I can't even be upset that he ran... Because he just sees it as a friend who's about to die,
right. Innocent kid.
But I'm just like, you guys chose to write that. Yeah. You guys made that a choice.
And they were trying to make it like he redeemed himself, but it's like, no, like, bye, good riddance. Get out there.
Wish you died sooner.
We're going to put you on the front line first, pal.
Right. So he dies, and then at some point, like, Ariosh sees all these big-ass babies come down and is like, I'm gonna eat all of you.
Right.
Because I can save all of you. And in her going to this, and these are big babies. They're not like, a baby that looks like he's the size of a 5-year-old. These are like 20-foot babies.
Right.
So she goes into this group of them being like, I'm gonna save you all, and then all of the babies eat her. So she gets eaten by the thing that she eats, but sure, I guess poetic justice. Yeah. I don't know. And then it gets to the end, and Cayman and Jealous have to sacrifice themselves in order for Seirai to be able to use his powers. All of the Watchers get frozen. Humanity saved. Everyone's dead, though.
Yep.
So that's that ending. The fifth ending, the one that branches off into Nier, is fucking weird.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense. All what happens, so everything that leads up to ending 4 of Sari using his powers happens except for the powers happening. Came and Angelus instead attack this queen and all this big baby queen. Okay, this big baby queen drops down. So instead of using the powers to freeze it, they're like, we're going to fight the big baby queen. The big baby queen and them all disappear through a portal. And the portal is like a time travel portal. And they drop down from the sky in modern day Tokyo like a kaiju. Mm-hmm. Like this is a kaiju woman dropping down into Tokyo. And so that's when the rhythm game happens where I don't know if she's like, it's the bells or like what's happening in the game, but that's when you see those black and white rings that come out. And the black and white rings are like, that's the Nier part. That's the Nier identity. The second I saw those, I was like, that's that shit right there. That's it. So all these rings come out. It turns into a rhythm game where you have to hit like a combo. Like basically when the black one hits, you have to hit it with the same black one. And so there'll be like 2 black and a white, and then they'll do it in different like sequences.
It gets hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked hard. I fucked this. I didn't have the time to get to this.
I mean, it's just a matter of like flipping one. It's a 1-2 flip fast enough in the same order. Because by the time the rings hit yours, you have to like match what's coming out of her mouth at the time. So it's not too bad, but that's all the combat is. You're just flying around in a circle hitting these rings. Yep. So once those are all dead, they destroy her. They get shot down by a fighter jet.
Yep.
A fighter jet comes and hits them with a missile, and they come down, and the game ends.
Yeah, and then Angelus gets impaled through Tokyo Tower.
Yes, yes, yep. And that's the game. That's the story of Drakengard.
So, like, I saw people...
And we're 50 minutes in.
I know, it's crazy. It's going to be a
long episode.
I saw people saying, like, the black shit was, like, basically, like, the disease that spread and, like, wiped out humanity. That's what kind of started the path towards Nier. We'll see. I don't know. This game's all interpretation. Bro.
I don't know. It's if you're looking at, and if you're wondering what I'm talking about, if you just look at the design and stylistic choice of that ending, that's really indicative of especially Automata.
Yeah.
So
100%.
But yeah, that's the story. Yeah.
My overall thoughts for the story is like, I think there's some interesting ideas and concepts that just are not fully realized, not fully fleshed out. And honestly, I was excited to play the story for this game because everybody like rants and raves about this story, right? But it's like a really slow burn. I remember like I played it for like 3 or 4 hours and I texted you. I was like, I can't get into the story. Like when something happened, bro.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crazy shit that happens early. So I was kind of like bracing for that and expecting it. But it's a lot of ideas they threw at a wall and like maybe some of this will stick. But I also read the way Taro writes his stories, like he comes up with a concept and then like fleshes it out afterwards. And it's like, oh, I can totally tell that's exactly what happened. Like there's no denying that's what happened. But I mean, for as much as people glaze the story, like it's all right. It's okay. I don't think any of the characters are like redeemable. I think it's interesting how they're all kind of pieces of shit, you know, but there's not any reason to care if any of them die. I'll put it like that.
Yeah, and that's where I'm like,
I wasn't shedding any tears.
That's where I'm like torn because there's, you know, Inuart's whole arc is very interesting to me, and I feel like that's the strongest part.
Yeah.
Of like what he's losing to what he thinks he's gaining.
Yeah.
Furyai's whole thing is just, I don't understand. I just think it's revealed that she wants to bone her brother, but like why?
She's locked in her room anyway, so like even if she does, like it doesn't really matter towards like the world. You know?
If she is romantically interested in her brother, I'm not understanding like where that's coming from.
It's so out of the blue, bro.
So because you know, like all we see him as is a killing machine. Right. All he wants to do is kill the Empire and protect her. So maybe like that's where her infatuation's coming from, is seeing him as like the knight in shining armor type. Where Inuart's not being the knight in shining armor type, so maybe she's more attracted to that part. But also, it just kind of doesn't really make sense for me to be like, oh, I could see why you would want to like your brother, and then you feel guilty over the fact and want to die.
Right.
You know, I don't understand that part, and I don't see it. And then, like, Kame, I don't know, man. He's just a dude that's killing. He's a killing machine.
Literally bloodthirsty, that's all he is. And it's funny, like they
did stab and kill.
The only part I laughed at is they did the Kung Pao moment where they're trying to show that he's mute, and he like sticks his tongue out, and he's got like the brand on his tongue. But it's like
the seals on his tongue.
Remind me of the googly eyes in Kung Pao. But I don't know, man. None of the characters were just like you said. I think there's interesting concepts. I think that shit was interesting. The idea of like being able to pact with other creatures, I think, is a cool concept. I
think a lot of this is lost on the fact that Kame did not have a voice the entire game.
Yeah.
Because you know, he didn't have any dialogue lines, so you're kind of watching what he's doing through, like, I guess, body movements and animation, but the dragon's like, oh, I can speak for you, but the whole time she doesn't speak for him. She's just like, you need to stop killing people.
Yeah, she's even the one that's like, you're killing a lot of humans, bro, and she hates humans, so like she never speaks for him.
She doesn't speak for him as a character. It's mostly just like, she's our narrator, like our narrator.
Yep.
So there's not really any way for me to kind of understand Kame, and I really do not like the fact that he had no option of dialogue, because it just doesn't make sense of how we got from point A to point B. A lot of
this game doesn't make sense. It's a good way to put it. There's a lot of like, head scratching moments, man. Like,
because like if they have a pact and they understand each other telepathically, because that's what happened with the priest. What is his name? Voldemort. Verdelay, that's what it was. Verdelay has a connection with his petrified dragon, and they can understand each other. So, like, why is Kame and Angelus being able to have a mental connection, but her saying, I'll speak for you, and then never speaking in the game for him?
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird shit.
Like, we're playing a video game. You can put in there, like, the echo chamber sound of like what he's thinking, and then show that she's not translating exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, or
like that would be very interesting.
You know what I mean? So like you can do like a thought, put the filter over the mic to make it sound like he's in his own head. You know what I mean? They do it all the time on TV shows and movies.
It's you know, or it could show like his thought process of like his decisions of being like, this is what I'm gonna go do, like tell them, and then like her withholding information.
Right.
You know, there could be something very interesting there. But, like, there's a nothing. There's a nothing there. He just wants to go save his sister. And I'm like, all right. Anwar is literally the only character in this that I was just like, I'm interested in what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I'm very interested in this part.
And he has a full circle, too, where it's like, you know, he starts out as a good guy, loses everything, tries to redeem himself depending on which ending you pick. Like, there's actual character growth and development there. Everybody else is just, here's a sticker of them, and this is what they are. They don't change throughout the whole game.
Yeah. And I believe that... I don't remember what happens to him in the first ending, but, like, once Furii decides to kill herself, that's when his brainwashing is broken. But I can't remember what he does at that part of the first ending, because the second one is the one where he takes her to get resurrected so they can repopulate the world as gods.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what happens to him in the first one. If he's just so overwhelmed that he stays there and ends up dying.
I don't think he dies. I think he ends up living.
I can't remember on that one, but
yeah, he's definitely the most interesting character. A fully fleshed out character, too.
Yeah, we could talk about this for quite a long time, and this is going to be a long podcast.
Episode.
Yeah, sorry, but there's just so much of the appreciation and the want to know what this game is and the understanding of this game is built into the story.
For sure.
So, like, understanding the story in full is really understanding, like, why people like this game.
For sure. I agree.
And I still don't get it.
It's not the gameplay. That's for goddamn sure.
So, speaking of the gameplay, let's just roll into that.
Yeah.
Alright, this is gonna be a long bitch. Alright, so what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna tell you that this game has hack and slash gameplay in ground combat. Some missions are on the ground, some missions are in the air.
Yes.
Some missions are on the ground and in the air. That's all there really is. Ground combat, air combat. Ground combat is you run around and it's just like Dynasty Warriors where a bunch of dudes come at you and you just mow them down. And there's a map where you have to go to certain points that are happening and like kill certain enemies or
like kill the generals or the sergeants
kill
or
the
whatever.
You have to go to the targets and kill the targets.
It's very Dynasty Warriors.
There is hack slash with the weapon, and then there's magic.
Yep.
And the magic is different for each weapon. The weapon attack combos are different for each weapon, and they do progress as you level them up. And you level them up by killing more people.
You just kill a fucking lot to level them up, though.
Yes, like you gotta kill a lot of people. So these guys are sponges. They are sponges. And I think that's probably why the combat is exceptionally so boring in the hack and slash gameplays, because, you know, like when Dynasty Warriors, what's so fun about them is there's just so many dudes, and you do one big sweep with that pole, and you've killed 5 guys.
They're like an unstoppable killing machine. You're just mowing them down.
It's not like they're taking damage. You're just killing them.
Yes.
So it's just like peons just getting wiped off the face of the bam, bam, bam. Right. They're all gone. This one, you got to hit the little guys like 7 times just to get their health bar down. Like, you are so weak.
Yeah.
And all of the fun of what made Dynasty Warriors fun to play is not here. It is way too much. They were just like, let me give you Dynasty Warriors, but make them horrible sponges. There is a point where some enemies are immune to magic, so you can't use your magic abilities on them. I believe they counter if you do.
They just eat it. Like, a lot of them just stand there.
I think some of them are able to do a counter attack, and that's kind of how you learn that you can
roll. So like every time they did, I would just roll anyway.
And then the air combat, I think, is actually it's pretty fun. It's
boy, if I had to pick,
it's bare bones. It's very bare bones. There's a lot of things that pops up, and you have normal fireballs. But if you have, like, there's a targeting system. So if you target over them for long enough, you can kind of hold the button and then shoot out like homing.
Yeah, think
like
Panzer
fireballs.
Dragoon. With the lock system that has.
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. And then the magic attack for the dragon is just a huge like raining fire, like everything
really cool.
dies.
It's like a screen clear.
But even then, like if you're flying around in the ground combat on the dragon, like you can shoot down fireballs on like the ground units. And if you use that special like magic attack ability, she stops and then goes whoa, and just vomits fire everywhere.
Yeah, it's cool.
But it still doesn't even kill any of them. Yep. Even the base ones, it has no like barely any damage to.
And you know what the worst part is? Like, that's such a cool idea to be like, oh, you can even ride the dragon on the ground. But like, you get shot with an arrow twice, you get knocked off.
Yep.
And the enemies get their health back once you touch the ground. So it's like, what's the point of using the dragon on the ground?
It is Sponge City.
Yeah, it's a mess, man.
The air combat, the controls are kind of I think the controls could have been a lot better, but they're not horrible for what it was. It took a lot of getting used to. It wasn't very intuitive on how to steer this dragon or like flip around back and forth or be able to target anything. I wish there was a sensitivity.
For sure.
Because, like, sometimes the turn was just way too slow. And I'm like, I need you to whip around faster.
Especially for the larger enemies, like when you're trying to take down the airships and lock on a certain part. There was times where I'd be, like, hugging the airship, and I'm like, all right, I need to turn around. So I'd click the triggers or the bumpers, whatever. And he'd turn around, but he would just be, like, going so slow. I'd be like, all right, let me try the dash to get some space. So he'd be dashing towards the camera, but the airships are fucking huge. So
you're you're getting nowhere.
There's no depth there's no field of depth, so you can't figure out how far you are from it.
Yeah.
But I'll take it all day over the ground combat, man.
I mean, all in all, this game is fucking boring to play.
100%.
Brian actually beat the game.
This
is me clapping for you, Brian, because this never happened.
I'm still a quitter.
You got a ending. That's all that we needed.
And then I was like, I do want to see the rest of this game. Like, God damn it. Like,
yeah.
I'll try. And then I text you. I was like, you know what? I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
I didn't finish just because my schedule is so jam-packed right now that I wasn't able to sit down and have the time to actually play this game. So I got to chapter 4, but that was like, I can play like a mission.
You got the game, bro. It doesn't change.
Yeah. So you know what? By chapter 2, you've got the entirety of what this game has to offer.
Seriously.
So that's kind of why I was like, all right, I'm fine with setting this down because I know past this point, there's not going to be anything in terms of gameplay that's going to differ.
No.
What you experience, that's it. Yeah. I got the extra weapons. I was able to switch them and equip them, and I was like, all right, that's what we got. So I ended up watching the story to the rest of it. Playing this game and then knowing where it's going and how long it's going to take, I had no drive to play it.
It was tough.
Like, and I rarely say that about games where I enjoy video games because they're interactive, they tell a story through interaction. There was no interactive element of this game that told me any story. It was drop in, blast some guys, drop out. And the drop in, blast some guys was so boring I didn't want to do it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It was awful. So, if you want to experience this game, I do not recommend playing it. Period.
I agree. And that's the thing, too. Like, it's not like it's a buggy, broken mess. Like, it does exactly what it's supposed to. The problem, it does, 1 to 2 things, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
it was woof.
Yeah, and there's the thing. I like these kind of games. Like, I like Panzer Dragoon. There was a Gamera game on PlayStation back in the day that plays very similar to the flight combat. And it's like, this game started out as they should have just stuck to that and maybe added some more elements and some depth to that, and it would have been really interesting. But, like,
there's
nothing there in the ground combat.
The gameplay is not bad, right? There's a difference between boring and bad.
Yeah.
This wasn't bad gameplay for mechanical sake, but it was so boring.
Yeah, just dull.
Oh my
just nothing.
God. It was just...
And that's the thing, too. Even on, like, the bigger enemies, like, you could just stun lock the shit out of them. Like, you could just... There's one weapon that was like a pike. You could just stab them, and they just juggle them. Just stab, stab, stab. And they couldn't stop you. But it'd take, 200 hits to fucking kill them.
Because it does no fucking damage.
Right.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's not like I used the same weapon knowing that I needed to get X amount of kills with it. But, like, my level completion screens would be like 400 kills, 500 kills, and the shit wouldn't level up. Like, that's crazy, dude. And the levels aren't long. They're like 10, 15 minutes if you do the objective. I think the longest level I had, there's one that was like 30 minutes. And you get an hour to clear it, but it's like, what's the point? Like, if you die, you do start over. That shit's annoying, too.
There is nothing enjoyable about that gameplay.
No. I picked at it, and thank God I did. But the first day I played it, I did it for like 3 hours, and I was like, maybe a mechanic's going to pop up. And I was like, oh, shit. This is literally it, dude. Like... I was like, this can't be it. This is crazy. Because I got a new weapon. And I was like, all right, cool.
God.
And then I realized, like, hey, you get more, like, button combos when you do level the weapon up. But, like, the max is 5. I think there's one that had 6.
Dude.
So it's just square, 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 square. Like, literally, the gameplay is square, 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 square. Triangle will do your magic.
There's no other items. There's no other equipment. There's no anything that you pick up. There's no pickups. There's no nothing. There's occasionally, if you're fighting enemies, those orbs will drop. And the orbs are what give you... your magic and your health back.
Yeah,
but
you have
like
to get a 10-hit combo, which once I figured that out, I was like, this game's a breeze.
yeah, there's no special equipment to buff any of this. No. There's nothing.
You do get the ability to like turn into your companions if you push circle. You can summon them like 3 times a map, but like I was thinking, oh, they're gonna do something different. They're gonna fight different. No,
guess
homie,
what you
it's
do? Square, triangle.
And then like I only used it later in the game when there was like kind of rooms where there was like beefy dudes that would like fuck you up. I just used them as health. Like if I was low on health with Kaim, I would switch to them. Mm-hmm. And then just use them. Like that's all they were good for.
Yeah. Gameplay, 0 out of 10.
Yeah, the gameplay's not great on this game at all. Which was I didn't know it was a Dynasty Warriors type of game going in, so I was a little surprised by that. I don't want to tarnish Dynasty Warriors like that, but it's not great, man. Again, this doesn't seem fully realized, much like the story, like the going theme for this game.
Imagine bad Dynasty Warriors, and that's what this is.
Yeah,
so I guess the gameplay is bad. Then I take my words back. It's bad.
Yeah, and again, I don't think that's the thing. It's not buggy and shit. So I feel
mechanically
bad for
it functions.
It's just dull.
It functions
it's so brain dead.
It functions fine. It's bad functioning.
You don't even need to have the screen on. Just push square on your controller right now, and you'll be like, "Oh, I can master fucking Drakengard."
Yep.
And I'm not being a ridiculous loon for saying that. Like it's so brain dead, man.
Brain dead is.
Like
exactly what it is.
It hurt the play, and I was like, "Oh god, I have to beat this!" Like
it was unbearable.
I procrastinated the fuck out of it too. I was like, "All right, I'm just gonna get it out."
I had a more enjoyable time playing the game of Rule of Rose than I had this, and we talk about how boring that game was.
But at least there was different environments. There was what do I do here? This was like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna push square until my finger bleeds.
Yep.
It was tough, man. This was not a great gameplay experience. This is probably one of the most dulling games we've done for the podcast as far as gameplay.
This is one of the most dull games I've ever played in my life.
I'll second that. Yeah, I'll stick my chest out and second that.
I'm gonna sit and dwell on it and maybe ask in the Discord, or if you've played this game and you know something that's more boring than this game, come let me. I'm gonna think on it.
Paint dry simulator.
If I've played a game that's more boring than this one, I'm gonna think about it.
It's tough, man. It's really difficult.
But my god, we're gonna go right out of this and into the graphics, though.
Yeah.
Alright, graphics, level design,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a positive and a negative, but like honestly, like the game looks fine.
It looks fine. The cutscenes they look good for 2004.
Oh, for sure, yeah, the cutscenes are definitely the strong point.
It's just the level variety is boring. It's as boring as the gameplay.
For sure.
The only, like, you're going through how many chapters until you finally get to the point where the environment changes? And even then, it looks the same.
Yeah, here's the thing. You go from, like, a forest, you go to, like, fucking a desert, but it's, like, the map's still just a big, flat battlefield, you know? There's nothing interesting on the map. It's not like there's varied terrain. There's
it's not colorful.
Yeah, it's just, like, gray, green.
And then every time you're sky fighting, it's gray.
Yep.
It's never bright. It's never sunny. Like, it's a very gray-brown game.
There was some, actually, now that I think about it, like when you're on the battlefield, if you'd get to the edge of the map where it was like the mountains that were like the barricade, those were some pretty poor textures. But like the enemies and stuff look fine, you know? Like they all do this. There's a bunch of them on the screen, so of course they're not going to be the most like graphically detailed thing ever. Mm-hmm. But like their movements are smooth. You can tell what the fuck they're supposed to be. It's just some of the environments are kind of, it's the weakest parts of the environments. Because, like, I thought Kaim looked fine.
You know, I'm trying to sit here because, like, sometimes when we talk about these kind of categories and say this is the strongest or this is the weakest, I can't even tell you which one's the strongest. I can't even.
The price and collectability. It's hard, man. Honestly, I don't even know what the weakest is. Like, it's a battle, bro. This was a tough one. And that's the thing. I think the graphics might be the strongest because I do think some of the CG looks pretty good. Like the first animation, like when you meet the dragon, where he's like got the sword above his head and he's like, "Do you value your life?" I was like, "Oh shit!"
I mean, look, when we go and we talk about the actual execution of those cinematics, they look good.
Yeah.
His outfit. Ugly. Yeah. The dragon design.
It's the designs.
Ugly.
The designs don't look great.
The designs are not good.
Yeah.
And I don't know who designed for this game or the art direction or whatever. Let me go slander this person. The art, and I want to say this is very different. The 2-dimensional art is very good for this.
Yeah.
It's the 3-dimensional rendition of this game that's awful.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I
will say one of the highlights for me is like we talked about the dragon with the magic attack. Like that shit looked devastating, but then you saw what it did and it kind of took away its luster, you know? Like it literally, the whole screen just like gets engulfed in fire and there's dudes burning and then it's just like, oh, it took a, centimeter of their health away. It did not match. Yeah,
I have some designer names and I don't. Akira Yasu. I don't have any link to see what else you did. Hiroyaki Katake. I don't know what else you did.
What's the thing, too? I'm trying to find, like, if you compare it to, like, Final Fantasy, for example, all those characters look vibrant. They look so unique and different.
Well, that's what they wanted. They wanted this to be a dark fantasy game, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You can make dark fantasy in a vibrant environment.
Yes.
Okay? Just because you're making everything look like piss and mud doesn't mean like, oh, the story is going to be piss and mud. The story is piss and mud. I have to look like we're in piss and mud.
Right.
I hate that.
Yeah.
And this game suffers from that awfully.
For sure.
Horribly.
Yeah.
Because we went through this entire game, and if you did all of the horrible things, and then you finally got to the crazy ending 4 where shit flies out of the sky and it turns red, like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that was cool. You go into Tokyo, and the whole thing's monochromatic, and it's like stylistically it changes, and the buildings are really blocky. That's cool. Okay?
You suffer to get there, though.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Just the base gameplay designs and key artwork's just not great, man.
It's, yeah, I don't know. The actual art of this game is fantastic. It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Whoever this artist is, who is this?
Like in the cover art and the books and stuff.
Kimihiko Fujisaka. Amazing.
That shit's dope, yeah.
Incredible.
The cover is what sold me on this game initially. I was like, oh, this looks fucking cool.
But the damn designs inside of this game. Woof.
Yeah.
All right. I can't stand by them. Can't do it.
Yeah, it's tough. There's not a lot to defend here, but I guess out of what we've previously talked about, this is probably if I had to do a ranking system, I guess graphics might be number one.
I mean, I can't.
And I don't feel like I've said anything positive is the crazy part. Like, this is a tough one, man.
I'm torn between saying this is the strongest and the story is the strongest. But, like, both of them are also so weak.
Yeah.
Like,
there's things about the story that are strong, and there's things about the graphics that are strong.
Yeah,
but I can't say in full good health and be like, the story's really strong.
No.
The graphics are strong. I can't do it, man. I'd be lying to y'all.
It's things about this game they're right there.
Oh, that's the
thing
ongoing
right
for this game.
There. It's like you have a big wall, and you're trying to jump. You're just trying to jump to grab the ledge, and your fingers are just like half an inch away, and you can't jump any higher.
Your long middle finger might have brushed the top just a little bit,
maybe
but not
one time, but you just can't get over it. You can't get over that wall. Like, there's things that are right there, and when maybe with a little more height you would have been able to get over it, but woof.
Tough, man.
The music.
Let me get a drink. Shit. Oh, man.
All right, so the music of this was composed by Nobuyoshi Sano and Takayuki Ihara, which I do not have any information for on that one. Sano apparently also did some work with Tekken, but mostly did a lot of work with Kaguya.
Ridge Racer also, yeah.
Ridge Racer, yes, that's right. Music and sound design. So they used it's a lot of pieces of classical music and then rearranged and then remixed and then relayered. The music in this, and like I said, we're not going to talk about Nier a lot, but you're thinking of the music in Nier Automata. Banger. Incredible.
That shit slaps.
One of the best soundtracks, some of the best music I've ever heard in my life. You're using layering, rearranging classical things all inside of that. It is rich. It is an amazing soundtrack.
There's like an electronic aspect to it if you like that kind of shit.
This is buns. This is cheeks.
Dude, this is...
Compared to that, it is just
Don't
like...
insult cheeks like that, bro.
Oh my goodness.
I literally put it in my notes. I was like, as bad as we dunked on the story and stuff, I'm like, the music is so fucking... Oh, I put hate. 6.
So the music is intended to be experimental. It says right here, intended to be experimental and expressionistic rather than commercial. It's supposed to emulate the gameplay. It's supposed to emulate the story and the narrative theme of madness.
Oh, well, they nailed that.
But I also don't understand if it was an intention for the music and the sound to kind of stutter and just... Like, I don't know if the sound chip was fucked up on some parts, or if that was an intention, because it didn't happen enough for me to feel like it was intentional. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I thought it was like my emulator fucking up, because I played it on the Steam Deck. It's the only way I was going to like pick at this game and piece at it. I was like, oh, let me restart this shit, because it sounds like it's crashing. But I was like, oh, it's supposed to say like, nails on a chalkboard, breaking glass, looping. And then I went to listen to on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, it's exactly what it's supposed to sound like.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
yeah, it wasn't like,
crazy.
Oh, it was my stuff fucking up. It was like, I guess everybody's is fucking up. So is it that happening on purpose or not? Because, like, sometimes I can't tell what happens on purpose in fucking Yoko Taro's brain.
Right.
But...
Insert t-shirt clip.
Yeah, and then the voice acting, bad.
Yeah.
It's like they wanted medieval dark fantasy, and we decided to go to a Renaissance fair. Like, Voldemort, whatever his damn name is. Oh my god.
Dude.
The seals!
Yeah. Stop it, child murder is a line too far. Like, it reminds me of, like, Deckard Cain, but, like, more subdued. Like, it's... Here's
some things that were said about this one. Let's see. Reaction was mixed to positive. We have music disappointing. Game Informer cited the low number of background tracks and voice acting straight out of a Renaissance festival as the poorer parts of the game. The music is the most nerve-wracking and the most intense aspect. Like,
and shit's aspect.
There is a semblance of, like, intention with the music. As you go throughout the game, it does start to break down.
Yeah. And
I can understand... And I can see the intention behind reflecting the madness as you go, but the execution is awful.
Agreed. And
that is just the theme of this game. Yep. I can see where it's going, but the execution is awful.
Yeah.
Every single part of this game.
Bro, literally, it's, we said the levels are 15, 20 minutes long. It's like a 4-second loop of, like, high-pitched noises. And yeah, it makes you go fucking crazy because you're just sitting there pushing square, square, square. And you hear this loop of, like, eat, over and over. Yeah, you'll go crazy. So they did great. Mission accomplished then. I take everything back I said.
Yeah.
I will say, too, with the voice work, there was a really funny moment where you first meet, I almost said baguette, the chick that sounds like bread.
Brioche. Arioche.
Yeah, when you first meet her, there's two guards.
Brioche.
There's two guards in her cell, and they have, like, hey, have you ever done a British accent? And they're like, sure have, mate. And they're like, all right, go for it. And they literally sound like, oh, she's the one that killed the whole village, eh? Like, it's such a bad British accent, and I'm no expert, but dear funny. Lord, it's horrible. Where everybody else does, like, medieval, and they're just like, no, we're going straight English, like, classic English.
They, like, try to talk in, like, old English, too, at the same time.
Yeah, it's goofy, bro.
Yeah.
And the dragon sounds unique. Like, I don't think it's the best ever, but stand out.
I'm not a super big fan of her, but I think she performs by far the best of everybody.
Agree.
But I think I don't like it just simply because of the way the languages is spoken, or I'm just like, this is just like ye ol kind of speak, and I'm like, come on, man, we don't need to do that.
Right. Like, I can tell she was conveying emotion when Chaim was like, take the soul, like, you want to live, don't you? She was like, you could tell there was, like, anguish there. But, man, I don't think the sound writing was bad, but it was a product of the times. It sounds like, 2000s anime dubbing. With a horrible backing track. That's the thing. The music in, like, the cinematics wasn't bad. It was normal music. It wasn't just sound effects. I did that. For me, I think the part I liked least about this game was the music. It was tough, bro.
Yeah.
Tough.
Wee.
I'm picking the shittiest songs for the transitions too, I promise. God.
there's not a lot of good ones. Some of the earlier ones are good.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right, this is good, but dude, I can't. The mission weapon select music. Oh my god.
That's what we'll do. We'll pick the good ones at the beginning of the episode to lure you in, just like the game did, and then we'll slowly descend into madness as the episode goes on between transitions. Oh. I got you, fam.
Yeah. Brian's got it. I won't linger on too much on this one anymore. I know graphics and sound are usually our shorter sections, but this is already a long podcast, and we got the price and collectibility.
Yeah.
Alright, so price and collectibility of this game. Little bit about this one. I think when I picked this one, it was kind of consistently around $100.
Yeah.
It's gone down. It should go down more. But
we'll do our part.
So total sales. So when we're talking about this game sold relatively well in Japan, you're looking at 250, 300,000. Not too bad for Japan, right? North America, 1.9 million. So less than 200,000 copies.
Oh, I thought it was 1.9 million. Okay, I was like, oh, it's not bad.
0.19.
Yeah, okay, that's different. Yeah.
0.19 million. No, 9 million?
I was
no.
like, yeah, that's not bad. Damn. How they get fucking two sequels?
200,000 because it did well in Japan.
Yeah, that's true.
I can tell you right now that how Drakengard 3 happened is incredibly crazy because Drakengard 2 sold less copies worldwide than Drakengard 1 did in the US.
Oh my god.
That's why you don't see any of them because there's no copies out there. There's literally like none.
Wow.
There's less than rule rows.
Crazy.
So the game must be dookie, I guess. Who's to say? So you're looking at 200,000 US copies. Price, I'm going to say, based on some recent sales, you're looking at anywhere from, I want to say, 70 to 100. Mm-hmm. Depending on condition, manual. Yeah. That's a wide range. Mm-hmm. 70 to 100. It's a $30 range for being complete in boxes is a lot. So, I mean, I've got some for the most recent. We're looking at 75 plus 16 in shipping. Mm-hmm. That's wild. 75 with shipping.
Just the disc is going for like $60 consistently.
Here's a $100 one, but has an extra manual. This one's complete, 90 plus $8 in shipping. I include shipping in these prices.
Yeah.
I always do. So that's kind of what you're looking at. 125 somehow, 90. So I'm going to say probably 70 to 90 maybe. I feel like anything higher than 90 is kind of like a
Minty McMinterson.
A weird offshoot. But that's what we're looking like. $70 to $90 for this game. Is it worth it, Brian?
Short answer, no. And that's the thing. Like this, I want to immediately say no, but I am weirdly conflicted with this one because it's got like some significance historically, right? Like obviously you've got the Nier connection. It's tackling some themes that you're not going to see in other games, for better or for worse. But like it feels like an important game. It's just not a fun game to play. So when I'm sitting here looking at it, I'm like, why did I pick it up? Because it has a dragon on it and it was $12 or $11. Easy. When you're pushing like, hey, you can buy a brand new game that's going to slap, you know it's going to be awesome. You could buy Crimson Desert, or you could buy this. I'm like, things get a little more difficult. But I do think it's an important game. Like, clearly, if you like Nier, I could see why you want to pick this game up, but playing it, it's a definitive no. Like, there's no question about it. I don't think there's one redeeming quality about the game itself. And I'll even say the story. I don't think the story is great. If you're buying this game to, like, check out the story, like Barry said in the intro of this podcast, like, do yourself a favor, save yourself $70, watch YouTube, because it is going to make you go fucking crazy trying to experience a story, like, legit. And there's no reason to. Like,
this game is the prime example of a game that's now an intentional collection piece.
Yes.
This is not a game you buy to play it.
No. I will never play this again, ever. Straight up. I can tell you right now.
It's like, okay, so I don't think this game is worth $70.
No.
Period. $40. This is the range this game should be in.
I would be way more comfortable there.
It's really not that tied to Nier like everyone wants to talk about. Okay? Yeah. Nier Automata is set 1,000 years after the last ending of Nier, which is set way after the last ending of this game.
Right.
Like, this game just, like... how do I even want to say it? It's like you have... it's like there's a steak. Okay, there's an incredibly perfectly cooked steak right in front of you, and you're just like, and you're like licking the air. You're licking the air around the steak, and then thinking that you're getting anything out of it. You're like, this tastes amazing. This is the best tasting steak I've ever tasted. But your tongue has never touched that piece of meat. Any molecules. No, that's what Drakengard is to Nier.
Yeah.
You know, like you're in the proximity of that perfect little cut, and you're licking the air, and you're thinking that you're in the same space. You're just like, this is so good.
You're just in the same plane of existence, bro. You're not
slurping noises. I'm sorry, but like that, you know. That's where we're at with this game. This Drakengard is the air molecules that you think you're licking on the amazing, incredible 5-star Michelin. Yeah. That's what this game is. It's awful. The entirety of this could be experienced on YouTube in 4 hours.
I would say if you have any interest, that's the way you need to do it, because you would go fucking crazy playing this. Seriously. There's been games to the podcast where I'm like, I don't enjoy this, and I'll keep playing it, and I get, it's fine. It's just something you do. Mm-hmm. This, though, I was like, God, I have to play fucking Drakengard. Yeah, like, I was literally bitching to Sherry, like, God, I have to play this fucking podcast game. And, like, it might be because, like, I wanted to play Crimson Desert and shit. No, I don't care what was going on in my life. I was like, I mean, even at work, I was like, God, I gotta fucking play Drakengard. Like, fuck, I can squeeze a couple missions in, but I have to. It was tough, man. It was a chore. Like, it felt like a chore to play. Yeah. I'd rather go outside and do manual labor, bro. Like, work on the garden or something.
That's saying a lot for Brian.
Seriously, dude. Yeah. It's one of the only experiences I've ever had like that playing a game, where I'm like, I don't enjoy
it's awful.
The time. I don't enjoy the music. I don't enjoy anything. There's no redeeming qualities about the actual game itself.
So bad.
And it's funny because, like, I'm trying to think as, like, a example. So, like, Yoko Taro, huge influence on, like, gaming, right? You look at something like, Kojima's earliest games, like the MSX Metal Gear games, like, they're not great by today's standards.
You mean Kojima, the very first visual novel game?
Yes.
Whatever that one's called that will never come over here to the US?
Police
No, hold on. He literally worked on the very first, like...
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. He was like, he didn't write it, but he worked on it, yeah.
I think he was a,
Fuck, what was it?
I can't believe we're talking about this right now. I was literally talking about this with somebody else because we were... Here's the thing. Once I figure out this game, it's like 7 discs. It's massive.
Yeah.
It's huge. And nobody will adapt it for modern, and no one will do any translation for it because there's so much in it. There's so much of it. I think it's a PlayStation 1 game that's literally 7 discs.
Woo.
Is it Tokimeki Memorial Drama?
That sounds similar.
I think it is.
Familiar, rather.
Yep, it's the very first dating simulator game.
Okay.
That's what it is. By Konami. Tokimeki Memorial Drama.
Prolific director, historic game. I don't know what it goes for. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's awesome.
No, I'm sorry. He was the executive producer of Volume 1.
Oh.
Executive producer.
He was like, they need to get it on. Like, make a game.
This was the game he literally put out after Police Knots.
Crazy.
So.
Let's just use Police Knots as an example because it's crazy.
Police Knots, Tokimeki Memorial Drama Series, Volume 1 and 2, and then Metal Gear.
We're going to use Police Knots as my example. But it's like, you've got a good game there. This isn't a good game made by a legendary developer. This is not a very good game made by a guy that, has some really great ideas and I think super creative. And, like, I respect him. I'm not bashing him at all. But, like, if you're buying this for historical context, I don't even think then it's worth the price. Like, as a collectible... Cool, it's the first game in the Nier series, but like you're saying, it's so loosely connected.
Well, and I think it's interesting to, like, I think Yoko Taro, what he wanted to do and the story he wanted to tell in this game did not come to fruition, and that's why he never wanted to work on a Drakengard game ever again. What he envisioned, because he's the director of this game.
Yeah.
And the things that he wanted to do for his story and his game, they shot shot down. We're like, no. So now that's what happened with this. That's what happened with Drakengard 3, because he didn't really have full say on that. And then you come back to Nier and Nier Automata, and then you have these amazingly fleshed out, crazy whack games because they're like, this shit's crazy, we're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
And you make it work, right? Yeah. But I think that's why this failed so bad, and I think that's why we're looking at it and saying it's right there. You know, these things, I can see it and it's right there, but there wasn't enough space for the execution to come to full fruition for what I think was envisioned. Yeah,
because there's times where I was like, man, there's some really cool ideas and concepts, but they forgot to water their plant, bro. It never grew. Yep.
There's no yeast in the bread.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not there.
Nope, it didn't rise.
No.
It's unfortunate too, because this is like, I don't enjoy shitting on like somebody's art, you know, but I also don't like you're saying, I don't believe it was his full vision and his full art. You know, I always like struggle with the idea of like being critical or being too positive about art too, because it's like sitting there and judging somebody else's art is always weird to me.
Dude, art can be bad.
Yeah, for sure. That's another thing too.
It can be bad.
And the people that defend this game, there's good luck finding a shed of negativity towards this game. There's literally just,
other than the gameplay being boring,
there's people that defend that. Like, the fan base for this game is rabid, bro. Like, we're gonna catch some heat with this one. But like, I'm not talking one video that's like 4 hours long on YouTube. There's multiple. I'm talking, you know, you keep scrolling and they're there 4 or 5 hours of like, it's a flawed masterpiece. Oh, it's got problems, but it's great.
All of you guys are literally into art.
Yeah.
You have a love that is so big for this game, but you've lost vision on what you're even loving.
Beautiful.
That's it.
I couldn't say it better myself.
You love this game conceptually, and you love that it exists, but you have no idea what the fuck you're loving.
The funniest...
You have no clue.
Yeah.
You don't even care. You're just like, it's Drakengard and I love it.
Cherry on top. Perfect. I'm not even gonna fucking... No.
You all have been brainwashed.
For real. You become what you hate.
Watchers got your ass.
Got him. The best one I saw was like, oh, it's intentionally like dull and mindless because you're supposed to be playing as Kaim, going crazy and bloodlusting, and it's like, well, yeah, but you could do that in a fun way, dude. Like, Dynasty Warriors is fun. Like,
do you think I want to take a Criterion movie and convert it into a game? No. That's what this is.
Yeah.
No.
I'd play a visual novel if I was interested in the story. I'd play a Telltale game. This ain't it. This is turn your brain to neutral, and you can't even turn your brain to neutral because it doesn't go that far down.
I am curious what the novelizations of this are like.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I think I do want to read those, or try and find out if I can't read those.
Oh, I had them. That would be interesting.
Because I want to look into that. And let me see what they're, because I was just looking at it and I was like, oh.
I didn't realize it was a thing.
There's a couple adaptations of this game. There's a spin-off manga. There is a special story titled Drakengard 1.3, which the game events are retold in. So yeah, I think there's a spin-off manga and a story, but I don't know if... it has 2 novelizations. That's what I'm looking for.
Huh.
So there's 2 novelizations, so I want to try and maybe find those to see kind of what they did with it. But
yeah,
this game's not worth it, but I also don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's a weird one, man, because I think there is some importance to this game.
And but it's only important to a very small niche of people. Yeah. It's not like, and that's why I said this is a very culty game. This is a strictly collectible game. It is not a game you buy to play it.
Yep.
You buy the game because you're like, this is the origins of Nier.
Yeah.
This is the, oh, my favorite Pokemon's Pikachu and I want to have the first Pikachu card.
Yeah.
It's something like that, where it's like, I want I love Nier Automata and I want to have the origins of this game as like a collector, right? That's why you buy this.
And then there's me who's like, oh, I'm trying to get every game with the dragon in it for Sherry.
Have Sherry play this game.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, play this shit. It's great.
This game is for you crazy Nier diehards. Mm-hmm. PlayStation 2 collectors. That's really it.
Yeah.
There's really no other reason to buy this.
No.
I mean, unless you want to be like, I want to get all the Square Enix games. Sure. This game is made for people who are doing a subset of I want all of these, or I want all of these, or I want, yeah, this is a collectible straight up. This is not a game you play.
Yeah.
You don't buy this game because you're like, that shit sounds interesting. I really want to play that. I want to spend $80 to hate my life.
Yeah.
That's not what this is.
Straight up, this is not a good video game.
Absolutely not. Nobody's coming in here and being like, yeah, bro, Drakengard. Let me see the same dirt on the ground. Yeah. You guys can't see my dance right now. Let me see the same dirt on the ground. Let me see the same loop of the 4-minute wee wee woo. And I'm over here slamming in the club to it. Like, it's not happening.
Yeah, man, it's an interesting one because I definitely know not worth it for me, but I still feel kind of weird saying it. You know what I mean?
Would you buy this game if you did not have it?
At this price, no.
Okay.
At the $11 I paid for it, sure.
But you had an awful time playing this game?
Yeah, it was not. It was probably one of the most miserable.
And you're never going to play it again?
I'm never going to play it again.
And are you going to sell it?
I will keep it for the historical significance of it.
See, there it is.
Because I am a collector though. But if you're just trying to find a fun game to play, avoid, bro. Avoid. I understand why you would want to collect this game. I don't understand in good faith why you'd want to collect and play this game. This one will collect dust for me. Let me be very transparent. Mm-hmm. Never opening that seal again.
It's one of those things where it's like, I am glad that I gave it a shot because I'm interested in Nier.
Yeah. Yeah, weirdly
That's it.
Yeah, weirdly I'm glad I played it because I've had it for a long time and I've always been semi-interested in it, not knowing it was a Dynasty Warriors game. But
But it's also interesting because I am glad I had that and I had that personal experience because there's so many people on the internet, on YouTube, on reviews are saying this is the game is hard to get through, but it's really it's worth it for the story. It's worth it for this or it's worth it for that. And everything I'm getting from the internet is telling me it does suck, but you got to push through the suck and you're going to come out happier. And I can tell you 100% that's untrue bullshit.
Yeah, I came out crappier, bro.
If there's anybody if there is one person on this whole internet network that's going to tell you Drakengard's not worth playing, it's me. Okay?
Yeah,
it's not worth, there's nothing about playing this game that's worth your time.
No.
Drakengard's a movie on YouTube.
Yep. I'll second that. If you're interested, that's the way to go.
That's it.
3 hours
read a synopsis.
Yep.
Drakengard. Hold on. We're going to go to YouTube. Okay. I'm going to type it right in here.
Save you all a click.
I'm going to put, we're going to put that in the description and then the RECAPitation I thought was really good.
Yeah, he did good.
So I do like the RECAPitation series. Drakengard, the movie. Oh my goodness. What's going on? By BuffMaister 9 years ago. All right, this is the guy. This is the video that's saving all of you. It's only got 382,000 views, which is actually a lot. Yeah. That's a lot. I think people are like, I don't want to play that game. I want to go watch it.
Yeah. Which you should, because I cannot recommend in good faith playing this piece of shit. I think the Japanese name Drakengard is or Dragoon is the most perfect thing ever because they need to add a hyphen in there.
Drakengard.
So appropriate.
People say that this game's soundtrack is notable for being terrible for sounding chaotic. This OST is fire as fuck.
I'd rather be on fire.
Yes. I thought my disc was broken when I was playing this because the music repeats itself like a broken music disc. But actually, how the soundtrack sounds in the game. Yep.
Facts.
I thought Nier Automata was depressing. This game is pure despair and madness and is such a bizarre and poetic spectacle. I regret not playing it. Okay. They really should retitle this game, Watch the Most Useless Priest Manage to Make Things Worse.
I mean, yeah. That was funny too, at the end of it was ending A, when he's getting ready to kill the kid, and he's like, don't do that, that's a line too far, but you've already killed hundreds of child soldiers earlier in the game, so it's
I don't know if that's at the ending of...
Was that A or B? It was one of the endings.
No, it was A.
Yeah, it was one of them where I was like, what about all the kids I already killed?
Yeah. Yep.
They're okay though, because of the bad guys? Alright. Great writing. Great story.
This person says, I tried watching cutscenes, but I couldn't understand a thing, so I tried with gameplay, and then I fell asleep.
I was really close to falling asleep playing this shit. I literally put it down for a minute, woke up.
So yeah, anyways, that's the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Drakengard for the PlayStation 2 is a big fat no.
Negative.
Nope.
Unanimous negative.
Get out of here.
Sound like the music there.
Yep. Exactly. Unfortunately, a very disappointing outcome of this one. I really had high hopes for this game, so it's quite a disappointing feeling. Coming out of that game was just like such despair. This game made me feel like this game, you know? Brian, what's next for the podcast?
Oh, it's one I know you're excited about.
Oh, fuck.
But the reason why I wanted to pick this game, we're in March Madness is going on. I wanted to talk about sports games because most of us actual gamers hate sports games, but there are some interesting ones. I think there's ones that are interesting to collect, interesting to play.
Ball and gun.
Yeah, I used to be like a huge sports gamer. I don't really play much anymore. They take up too much time.
Ball and gun.
Play some guns. But yeah, collectible sports games is next episode. In Barry's notes, you put Brian's solo episode, but
yep. So if any of you guys listening to this want to jump in on this episode and take my spot, please let me know in the next week. Thank you.
I ain't gonna find a sports game you're interested in, but there's some surprisingly fun ones out there that are like weird that you wouldn't expect to exist.
Well, do board games count as sports?
We'll count them for you.
Fuck.
I'm sure there's competitive checkers, bro. Like
competitive checkers. Chess is a sport.
All right, fuck it. Battle chess is sick.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to Collecti-Bros podcast for free, just like all the other content. You can check us out on YouTube for free. Check us out on Discord for free. Check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for free.
Love it.
Thank you. Collecti-Bros out.
Bye.
Always with the bye.